Hello everyone, you're listening to BCG's podcast, Shared Solutions. I'm Claudia Cox, Communications Officer here at BCG. You'll have to excuse me as this is my first ever podcast, so this is very new to me, but I'm very lucky to be speaking to someone today who I'm very comfortable with, my dad, Terry Cox. Hi, Dad.
Hi, I'm glad you're comfortable.
Before we begin, I'm going to give the listeners a quick bio about you if you don't mind. I wrote it, so you'll have to let me know if it's accurate or not. Dad grew up in Berrowillick and still lives on the same farm where he was raised. He worked alongside his father, Leon, before taking over the operation in 2010 at age 41. Since then, he has expanded the Broadacre cropping enterprise and now runs the farm with his wife Jodie, their two sons Charlie and Thomas, truck driver Shane and close family friend Max. They run a complete Broadacre operation of over 10,000 acres, farming wheat, barley, canola, lentils, vetch and occasionally oats and peas. Known for his 1% efforts, Dad takes great pride in keeping everything neat and tidy, earning him the nickname Peter Perfect. He's the kind of person who uses a laser level to plant trees, even those tucked away right out the back where no one will ever see them. That same attention to detail is reflected across the farm, from clean machinery to neat fence lines, even if it does mean hand-picking fleabane from the paddock. In harvest of 2023, Dad had a farm accident that affected all aspects of his life. This is something we'll be touching on a bit later. Welcome to the show, Dad. How was that introduction?
Far from Peter Perfect. And I'm sure you could have found someone else far more interesting to talk to than me, but anyway, here we are.
Here we are. I would also like to add we're sitting in the family kitchen. It is really, really hard to organise a farmer during sowing season. I definitely wouldn't recommend, but it's a little bit easier when it's your dad. Before we get into anything about the accident, firstly, I want to know about the sowing program that is currently going in the ground. Are you doing anything different this year given the March rainfall?
Nothing too different. That March rainfall certainly turned things around. I think on the farm here we had between 120 and maybe 220 mil. I think it's probably the first time I can recall that we've started in March sowing, albeit the 30th and 31st. We've sowed a brown manure paddock of peas and trying a block of Mohawk, a long season wheat variety, for the first time this year. That's just to make it a little easier at the back end of sowing, try and get us finished a bit earlier. Yeah, and they were all in before Easter. And now, we're just sowing vetch. That'll hopefully be for hay. We'll continue on with canola, barley, lentils and then wheat, and hopefully plan to finish by mid-May.
Are you currently feeling like you're on top of your spraying at the minute?
Yeah, we went pretty hard. Great germination after that rain. Going around wet patches has been a bit of a challenge. Only been bogged twice. So no, we basically double knocked everything, I think, and just sowing into clean stubbles now, yeah.
With the water laying on the paddocks, do you have a plan for that? Are you going to sow over it if it eventually dries up? What are you going to do?
I think we're going to get 95% of it. There's paddocks with lakes in there with water still foot deep. We're not going to get them sown, I don't think. We'll just leave the water there to dry. Hopefully by the time the sprayer gets there, we'll be able to, it'll take traffic, but yeah, if not, we'll just leave it bare. I don't know what we'll do. We may cultivate it. We'll see what happens. That little bit we lose there, I think we'll gain over the rest of the paddock. So.
Yep. Amazing. Moving on to your accident in 2023, can you tell me what happened or what you recall of that moment?
I just want to preface this before we start by saying this accident was no one else's fault but my own. No one else is to blame than myself. Yeah, it was just Sunday, Sunday the 4th of December, just after lunch, I think. We'd had rain previously a couple of days earlier. We were able to harvest lentils, and we'd just finished the lentils, and we'd taken a sample of barley in. It was right on the moisture of 12.5. So, yeah, we were just biding our time, I guess, waiting for the barley to come right. We weren't in a hurry or anything. To the contrary, we were just, trying to kill a bit of time, cleaning everything out. We're cleaning the mother bin out, and the mother bin's got a slide that goes right along the floor of the mother bin. And we'd been having trouble with it. It was hard to drive, and it was the centrifugal clutch on it was slipping. So I was underneath while the chute was out, checking bearings and making sure there was nothing that was making it hard to drive. And I just went under there, didn't tell anyone, and I was out of sight pretty much. The boys came back, seen the mother bin was cleaned out, and the slide's a bit of a bugger of a thing. You actually need a ute to pull it out, but once it's out and cleaned out, two blokes can slide it back in without too much trouble, and they come back and slid it back in, and I caught my hand, and just like a guillotine, it cut through my wrist and was only hanging by the skin on the back of my hand, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you tell me about what happened after that as well, if you remember?
So obviously I knew it was pretty serious. We rang 000, and we didn't want. I didn't want to wait till the ambulance got here. It could have been an hour or whatever. So we jumped in the car, went up to the Sea Lake Hospital. As luck would have it, as we were driving up there, I seen the ambulance helicopter on the Sea Lake footy oval. And I thought, wow, that's unreal. But it was actually there for someone else. We knocked on the door of the hospital, and the nurses come out, and the ambulance from Sea Lake came up to the hospital. They took me down to the doctor on the helicopter at the oval. He deemed the other patient was more serious than I was, so he kept the helicopter, and it was decided that we'd go by plane from Swan Hill to Melbourne. I don't know why or what happened, but we couldn't use the Sea Lake ambulance. We had to wait for one to come over from Nile West to take me to Swan Hill to get on the plane, and flown to St Vincent's.
Yeah. And you had to wait a while before surgery.
I'd just eaten a salad roll just before the accident, and apparently they can't operate until that's digested or something like that. Yeah, so I think I was operated on in the early hours of Monday morning. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time.
It was a long time, yeah.
I wasn't in Australia at the time, but caught wind of kind of what had happened and called Mum, and it was about 4 a.m. for her, and obviously you'd been gone all that time. There wasn't much communication. She said that the surgery kind of called her and said, yeah, we don't have any information, we'll give it to you later. And I think that just sent her spiralling. And I was awake at the time. It was like midday for me. And I called Mum and she said, I really think Dad's going to die. And I just didn't believe her at all. I just said, no way, that's not happening. I was wondering, did you ever think that?
No, I don't think I did. At any stage, I remember almost passing out, I think, when I got in the car to go up to the hospital. But, everything sort of went black and white. But, yeah, I had a drink of water and come good. Yeah, no, didn't think I was. I mean, with the accident, like I said, it was a guillotining effect and my wrist sort of collapsed over on itself. I was so lucky that it didn't go right through my hand. I think it must have pushed one of my arteries out of the road rather than cutting it, and I think that probably saved me. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of blood or anything like that. So, and ambulance guys were really good in assuring me, I was going to be okay. So, it probably... after I got home from hospital, I was in St Vincent's for a week and got home and got an infection, a colitis, I think they called it. And I probably felt crooked from that than anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the 4th of December. After that, obviously, harvest still goes on. Can you talk me through how the family coped and the community effect of what happened after?
Sorry. I think if nothing else, it taught me that, no one's indispensable. Life goes on. The boys did an amazing job with the harvest. And family and friends, neighbours, they were fantastic right through, Couldn't have got through it without them.
Do you want a break?
Yes.
Yeah, so the family and the community were pretty amazing. Like, people just gave up trucks, headers.
Headers, chaser mins, you name it. People were just willing to help, Yeah,
it's incredible. So talk me through the function of your hand now. You've still got it, which is amazing, and I'm very grateful. What does kind of life look like with what you can do?
The surgeon's done an amazing job putting it back together. It's probably just the intricate things I struggle with. I can't actually get a pinch between my thumb and the finger. So, just doing up buttons and screwing a nut on a bolt, it's pretty hard to do. Luckily, I'm left-handed, so didn't need to learn to ride again or anything like that. I'm not, my right hand was pretty useless before then anyway. So,
How it was the one that was up there?
Yeah, I don't know what it was even doing there, to be honest. So,
Incredible.
I did nothing with me right hand. Yeah, so that's the only, I can feel hot and cold on my palm, and I mean, it's strange because that's really accentuated. Like something might be warm feels really hot, and something that's mildly cool feels very cold. But I have sort of no deep sensation of my hand, pretty much.
Yeah. kind of farming and all the jobs that are included in that, that would be incredibly frustrating. How do you manage that?
Look, you just got to get on with it. I try not to think about it too much. I just try not to let it bother me.
I just wanted to say that I've heard Charlie and Thomas come back, and sometimes you might have been at a nut or a bolt for ages and you just like don't say anything, and you keep on with it. And I think that attitude is incredible. Yeah, I think you've done an amazing job at navigating this accident. I don't know many people that would be able to do it so calmly and kind of like no one would notice your hand if you had met them. They probably still wouldn't notice it now. Yeah, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I actually see them getting more frustrated than I do, and I suppose that might be why I do it. But yeah, and I consciously, yeah, I guess, yeah, try not to get frustrated or show I'm frustrated. So yeah, I mean, it's just something. It is what it is. You learn to live with it, I guess.
In that, like not showing frustrated, are you doing that more for yourself, or are you doing that kind of to teach the boys? Is there a lesson in there, or? Maybe. I'm
not, doing it for myself. Probably more for them, I think. Yeah, that just show that, just persevere. Just, no matter how hard it is or how frustrated you are, just, persevere.
Yeah. BCG are very conscious on safety. It's at the forefront of our minds every day, whether that's out in the field, researching a trial, putting it in the ground, or in the lab or in the office. I was wondering, how did it change practices on farm? Like, what safety precautions have been implemented since?
I guess we're just trying to be more proactive about safety, and just having a young work team, just making them aware. I mean, communication is a big one, I think, which is something I'm not good at, but trying to be better at in communicating the dangers, what you see, and
since then, you did start kind of having an informal toolbox meeting every morning. I think that has got to do with having a pretty decent coffee machine on site, but you, Mum, Charlie and Thomas and Max congregate here in the morning, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, going over the day.
Yeah, pretty much. Just that's basically it. Yeah, each person's got their job, and just working out the day pretty much.
Yeah. I'm interested to know, what was it like growing up, working the farm with your dad as your boss, and now being the boss of 2 of your sons, basically 3 sons, and running the business?
Yeah, boss is a loose term probably, but I think it's fantastic. And my father before, he's, again, it's generations. I believe we're just here as tenants. My father was a good farmer, and left this place in really good shape. He took on, all the new varieties early. I was just showing a couple of photos earlier in the week of him standing up the front there listening to a BCG field day, and he went to all them, and really at the forefront of technology even back in his day. I remember getting urea in bags and spreading behind a little Fordson tractor, thinking, what the hell is this stuff, what's it doing? But, that's the first time I'd seen urea, and now, it goes out willy-nilly. So, he was a really good farmer and, left the farm in really good shape, and, I hope I can do the same for my boys.
Yeah, definitely. Since the accident, I would say that I've noticed a bit of a shift in yours and Mum's attitude towards retiring, whether that's meant a few more holidays or weekends away, taking it easy only just. But do you think your attitude has shifted personally?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, as I said, no one's indispensable, and the accident showed me that, shit still happens when it needs to. And so if that means, we can have a weekend off here and there, that's all good. I still have trouble turning me back on work, but when I get we've got a property up in Berry, South Australia, and go up there. Once I'm there, I chill pretty much.
Yeah,
it's just getting away from here is a battle at times.
Yeah, what does retiring look like for you?
I guess spending more time up there. I don't want to do nothing. And I hope there's still a need for me back here, whether they want me or not. But and I can just see myself coming back in, peak times of the year.
Yeah, definitely. A question that we always ask all of our farmer in focuses: drought is an inevitable aspect of the climate we live in. How is your farm business preparing for future droughts or potential financial shocks within the business?
We've been lucky. We've had an amazing run of years. In the last few, so much so, I don't think my boys have seen a tough year as yet. And don't worry, it's getting closer. We understand that, but look, you can't get hung up too much on drought. I don't think defining what even is a drought is hard to do. I think, if you went off rainfall, you'd call last year a drought, and we grew some amazing crops. So I think we've definitely got better at what we do. Each farm has its things it's good at. Stick to your lane. We've invested heavily in on-farm storage, and that sort of gives you the flexibility of selling when you want and holding grain over if you have to. Yeah, I mean, we do all the summer spraying, conserving moisture. That's a pretty big one, and grow your break crops. We're probably 50% legumes or break crops. I think it can change so quickly. So, look at the 1st of March or whenever that rain came. Well, things were looking pretty dire. We had no subsoil moisture before then. And in the space of a weekend, the moisture profile was full. And I'd probably, for me, look at that more than worry about a drought. If we've got subsoil moisture, it gives you the level of confidence in the season, I think. So.
Yeah, just going off last season as it is, that would have been, if you looked at rainfall, that would have been a drought. Yet people in the region were getting 3 to 4 tonne crops,
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, it just goes to show rain at the right time, subsoil moisture and a cool finish, and the varieties are so much better now that, no matter what Mother Nature throws at us, hopefully we can get some sort of crop.
I wanted to ask about holding onto grain and selling it. I feel like you've always kind of got something here on the farm on hand. Is there a process to that?
Not really. Like I said, we try to store all our harvest pretty much, or as much as we can, whether that's in bags or permanent storage. Yeah, I just try to keep the truck moving pretty much, and sell whatever commodities I think's a good value at the time. That just gives you a steady cash flow, I guess.
Yeah. I think you've kind of already said it in that last answer, but if you had to say what are Terry's top 3 golden rules to farming that you absolutely swear by, one I think would be the moisture management.
Yeah, I think summer spraying key, conserving every drop of moisture that we get. Number 2, I think probably timeliness of operation, getting everything on time, and best practice, I guess, giving yourself the best opportunity to grow a crop. 3, I think attention to detail. Yeah, sort of sets you apart from the field a little bit. It's the 1% things that really add up and make a difference, in my opinion.
Yeah. Can you walk me through some of those 1%ers?
I think just, being absolutely fastidious with weeds, even if it means picking fleabane by hand. Just being on top of everything and keeping your gear. It's expensive gear, just doing the maintenance, servicing when it falls due, that sort of thing. Yeah, they're just little things, but I think they make a big difference in the big picture.
So we probably would say the nickname Peter Perfect isn't that far off.
Look, far from perfect, but I just like things done right.
Yeah, I respect that. Well, that's all my questions. Thank you so much for, forcefully joining me. It's been great. I think, your not reaction, but your response to your accident is something that I think about a lot, and I think it's incredibly inspiring. I'm sure Charlie and Thomas and Max and Mum would say the same. I think the way you go about it is incredible, and I'm very excited for this family on this farm for the future, and I think you've done a great job.
Thank you. I hope I haven't bored everyone.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Feel free to subscribe to keep up with BCG's shared solutions. Let us know if you have any thoughts on this podcast by emailing us at info@bcg.org.au. This project was supported by the Australian Government's Future Drought Fund. Thank you.
BCG drives the prosperity of Australian farmers, communities and landscapes through applied research, innovation and events. To find out more about what we're up to, our team and events near you, visit bcg.org.au.